Very good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new lesson in history part. Lesson number 15, National Liberation Movements in the Colonies. What are colonies? Colonies are the places which are occupied by other countries. Example, take India. India is the colony of Britishers. So, India is ruled by Britishers. So, how these colonies have started liberation movements to get rid of the colonial ruling. Let us start the video. We already know that how European countries have established control over the Latin American, African and Asian countries by 19th century. All these we have already read in 9th standard. And in this chapter, will be read about how these countries fought for freedom. We have already read in 9th standard that how these countries were occupied by the European powers. And in this lesson, we are going to see that how some of the countries of these continents came out of the ruling of the European powers. And in this lesson, we are going to discuss about three countries mainly: China, Vietnam and Nigeria. And China and Vietnam are in Asian continent and Nigeria is in African continent. See now, China. It is one of a very important country in Asian continent and the most populous country in the world. At the turn of the 20th century, China was ruled by the emperors of Manchu dynasty. It is a name of a dynasty and the kings of Manchu dynasty ruled China. But the rulers of the Manchu dynasty had become powerless to defend the interest of the China as well as Western powers. At the same time, much of the Western powers have started entering into China and people also very much tortured by the Western powers. So the rulers of Manchu dynasty can't solve the problems of the people and also can't control the entering of the Western powers. I'll say one example for you. Actually, China mostly has occupied by Britishers and even Japan also invaded China and many other countries came. And historians have said that occupying of China as cutting off Chinese melon. How they have described the complete China as watermelon and each and every country is coming and occupying one of a part of China. So historians has described this as cutting off Chinese melon. And both the common people and administrators of the empire were unhappy with the state of affairs. Means completely the ruling is not in a proper way at all. And there were several revolts by the people and attempts at reform by the administrators. So people have started different revolts to come out of this ruling, and even the administrators also have started attempts how to control this revolt. At the same time, republic was established in China. How this republic was established? The Manchu Empire was overthrown and a republic was established in 1911 under the leadership of a person called as Sun Yat-sen. What is the name of the person, children? Sun Yat-sen. So, this Sun Yat-sen is regarded as the founder of modern China. Under his leadership only, lot of China was developed. Before, China used to have a very old traditional practices and all those practices were taken away under the leadership of Sun Yat-sen. He studied the problems of China and worked out a problem of action. His program was called as Three Principles. What is the program, children? Three principles, and those principles in Chinese language is called as San Min Chui. What it is called, children? San Min Chui. San means nationalism, Min means democracy, Chui means socialism. These are the very important three principles by Sun Yat-sen. And with these principles only, he started to rule complete China. Nationalism. This meant the overthrowing of the Manchu, who was seen as a foreign dynasty, as well as other foreign imperialists. And democracy, or establishing democratic government in China. And socialism, regulating industries and land reforms to distribute land to the landless peasants. So with these three principles, he want to make the China to be as a great power in the world. He is Sun Yat-sen, the founder of modern China. And at the same time, even Manchu dynasty was overthrown and a republic was declared. The Republican government led by Sun Yat-sen could not consolidate itself. They were unable to control the some of the people there, and the country came to be controlled by regional military powers called as warlords. I'll say an example here. We used to have even in some of the places still today in India, some people used to control a particular area. They may be the zamindars or landlords. They used to control a particular area. In China also, some of the regional military powers used to be there, and those people are called as warlords. They used to control the own particular place. At the same time, one of a big revolt was started in China, and that movement is only called as May 4th movement. Very, very, very important topic, children. Listen clearly. May 4th movement. This was started on 4th May 1919, and so it is called as May 4th movement. Why it was started? Actually, an angry demonstration was held in Beijing. Beijing is the capital of China, to protest against the decisions of the Versailles Peace Conference. It at the time of World War I, 1919, World War I is completed and Treaty of Versailles is also completed. In the Treaty of Versailles, the places which are occupied from China by Japan was not returned back. China is in the side of Britain. So, Britain, when it has won the war, the places of China also should be returned back, because China is the friendly country of England. But the places of China did not return back, which were occupied by Japan. Because of this, a protest, a demonstration was started in China. So, to say that the territories which were seized by Japan should be returned back, and this protest become as a very great movement in China, which is called as May 4th movement. Understand, children? Once again I'll explain. Listen clearly. This is the movement which was started on 4th May 1919. Why this movement was started? At the time of World War I, China stood at the side of Britain. At the same time, some of the places of China was occupied by Japan. World War I is completed and Britain won the war, and Treaty of Versailles is also completed. But China is the friendly country of Britain, but the places which were occupied from China by Japan was not returned back to China. As China is a friendly country of England, England may ask Japan to return the places also, but this was not happened, and so the protest was started by the people of China. This is called as May 4th movement. This is the picture of May 4th movement. The same picture was there even in your textbook also. This is the angry demonstration of the people of China. At the same time, in this May 4th movement, they also gave importance for some of the other things. They were to attack on old traditions. The old traditions of China should be taken away. Introduction of modern science. Democracy should be established. Nationalism should be there. Driving out the foreigners. As China was mostly occupied by the foreign rulers and foreign people are there, all these foreigners should be sent out, because Manchu dynasty is also a foreign dynasty. It did not belong to China, but they came from other places and they ruled China. So all the foreigners should be sent out. Use of simple language and script. We know that the Chinese language was not at all understood by us, because it is in a different way. The script also will be so different. So the Chinese language should be easy to understand. Simple language and script should be used. Abolishing of practice of foot binding. This is a cruel practice of not allowing women to have a fully grown feet. I'll show the picture in the next slide. So this is a very cruel practice that in their mind there is some ideas that the men feet only should be bigger than the women, and so here we can see the female domination. So sorry, male domination. Females did not have any sort of ideas here, and so they asked the women not to have a fully grown feet. And subordination of women. So they asked that women also should have the rights. Equality in marriage. Women did not have any rights in the marriage also. So all their equality rights should be given to them. And economic development and to end poverty. All these are the important things what they have taken as a demonstration in the May 4th movement also for the government of China. So this is a picture of foot binding. You can see that how the fingers were twisted. In the childhood itself, they'll make the foot to, they'll keep one type of shoes for their foot. So they won't have any growth for the foot. Example, if we keep our fingers closer for many years and all, automatically those will be like that only. We can't open the fingers at all. So completely they were twisted and they kept like that only. This shows that how the male domination is there in the society in China. So these are the shoot what they will be using for the foot binding practice. You can see that there's a very small shoes and they make the foot to be entered into the shoes. From childhood onwards, the shoes will be wearing like that. Because of that, there won't be any growth in the foot of the woman. See how the shoes were. It was very smaller than the palm. So the foot will be like that. This is a very cruel practice and now it was completely abolished. Next, Kuomintang. It is also called as KMT, Kuomintang Party. It is a name of a party which was started by Sun Yat-sen. Sun Yat-sen is the major ruler of the China. So he started a party called as Kuomintang, which is also be called as KMT. Another party is also there, which is called as Chinese Communist Party, CCP. These two has emerged as the major forces in China. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, one more new ruler came into existence. He is Chiang Kai-shek. What is the name, children? Chiang Kai-shek. He emerged as the major leader of Kuomintang or the KMT party. And Chiang Kai-shek was a conservative and he encouraged women to cultivate 4 virtues. 4 virtues means like 4 habits. What are those? Chastity, appearance, speech and work. Chastity means to maintain a good character. Appearance, their appearance should be very well. Speech, the way of talking. Work, women should be involved in all the household activities. Like that, he asked women to cultivate 4 virtues. Here also we can see that male domination and females did not have any proper rights also. Even the length of hemlines was also prescribed. Hemlines are the frock-like dress for women, and they used to say that the length of this frock also must be in a proper way. They have given some length, and all the women should wear only such a type of length dresses only. It should not be less than that. So these are the 4 virtues which were asked by Chiang Kai-shek to cultivate the woman. What are those 4 virtues? Chastity, appearance, speech and work. So this is a picture of hemlines. So these are the hemlines and they have kept the prescribed length for the hemlines. So they should not be less than that. This is in the almost in before 1900. At that time they used to wear in such a way, but now it was completely changed. Shanghai, one of a very important city in China. This became as a center of modern growth, and many of the industrial working people used to live in Shanghai only, and it is a very beautiful city in China. And here we can see different types of petty workers also, and it is a big urban center. And most of the people who used to work in towns and cities, they used to migrate from the villages to Shanghai only. And social and cultural changes helped along by the spread of schools. And schools were also started spreading at the time of Chiang Kai-shek only. And this was changed some sort of changes in the society. And Peking University, it was established in 1902. Peking University, actually before only in 1858 it was established, but completely it was established in the year 1902. And Peking is the old name of Beijing. And this is a picture of Peking University. And now also it is called as Peking University only. This is just a part of Peking University. It's a library part of Peking University. And old picture also I'll be showing you. This is the old Peking University. Now it is also using, but along with it many other branches are also there. So this is regarding the Chinese complete two different phases. One is establishing the republic and regarding the Chiang Kai-shek and Sun Yat-sen. I hope that everyone have understood it. Once again, I'll give a quick recapitulation regarding this. Actually, at the turn of 20th century, China was ruled by the emperors of Manchu dynasty. And in 1911, Manchu Empire was overthrown and China was republic was established in China under the leadership of Sun Yat-sen, and Sun Yat-sen is called as the founder of modern China. He has advocated three important principles. They were San Men Chu, nationalism, democracy and socialism. And I already said regarding the May 4th movement and also the traditional practices how they have taken away. And two important parties are there, Kuomintang Party and the Chinese Communist Party. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek came into existence. He emerged as a great ruler. And Chiang asked women to, he encouraged women to cultivate four virtues. They are chastity, appearance, speech and work. And here is your assignment, children. At the turn of 20th century, China was ruled by which dynasty? Who is regarded as the founder of modern China? What were the principles of Sun Yat-sen? Write about May 4th movement. What are the four virtues asked by Chiang Kai-shek to women? So, complete these answers. And meet you in next video, children. Thank you.